He was swole as hell, beating niggas up, all that shit. He was fat now. That nigga's big as out the pen, go to pen for 2-3 years, come home, swole, smacking shit out niggas, doing all that, robbing niggas. They was the Icy Jack boys. That's what we used to call it. Like I was a part of it. I used to call myself that too when I was hanging with them. You feel me?
Hold up. Y'all won't believe what just hit the internet. Fresh footage of Lil Durk's crew getting caught up with the law, and honey, it's messier than my ex's explanations. These OTF boys, who usually play it all mysterious and low-key, are now front and center, hands reaching for the sky, begging for mercy. But here's the real tea. Why is everyone saying he's just one loose lip away from his whole empire crumbling?
I sentenced Mr. Johnson on a conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. 35 years.
And trust me, it gets juicier. Word on the street is these tough guys aren't just pleading, they're ready to throw their beloved boss under the bus to save their own skin. Like, where's the loyalty these days? I can't even.
There are now 5 people in custody who weren't in custody before. 5 people who were alleged to have committed a murder in broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon in the city of Chicago, okay? And now it's known to them, and it's known to anybody else who might be committing similar acts of brazen violence.
Okay, so grab your popcorn because this story just took the wildest turn. Just when you thought it couldn't get more dramatic, these accusations drop that'll make your jaw hit the floor. I mean, we've all seen the footage of OTF members doing the walk of shame in handcuffs, but hold on to your seats because that's not even the craziest part. The real bombshell? OTF Jam, supposedly riding with the cops this whole time, wearing a wire like it's the hottest accessory of the season. I swear it's giving major crime drama vibes, but make it real life.
A man was shot outside the Varsity in February. The man survived. Banks turned himself into police yesterday.
Except this one's real, and the players are some of the biggest names in Chicago's rap scene.
As Durk Derek Banks and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court.
Let me spill all this piping hot tea about how this mess started cooking. It all went down when some of these supposed street soldiers started singing like they're auditioning for American Idol. But to the police, can you believe? The gossip is that one of them couldn't handle the thought of serving time. I mean, orange is not everyone's color. So they started spilling secrets faster than a knocked over drink. And guess whose name kept coming up? Lil Durk himself. The plot thickens.
5 guys are OTF Vonnie, OTF Didi, or known as D-Ski, Flocka, Brown Eyes, and Boogie. First reaction when you seen the first news?
My first reaction, I saw Boogie first. You know, that's a childhood friend of mine, so damn, fucked me up when I saw that. Cause Durk haven't got locked up yet. So when I first saw that, I saw Boogie. I'm going through it. I see damn, you know, this is my boy. Like my first song on my YouTube channel called Swag Check. He really like influenced like my first song, like that one. That our first video is called Swag Check. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Child, when this tea spilled, social media lost its collective mind. Everyone and their mama had a theory. King Yella's name started trending because, remember this? He'd already been running his mouth to the cops about Durk, but Yella's over here like, wasn't me, acting all innocent. Then there's Brick Baby looking more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs during his interview about Durk's arrest. But wait, it gets even spicier. The real plot twist? It's supposedly OTF Jam. This man's been playing double agent longer than some people's relationships last. Just imagine, sitting at family dinners, laughing, sharing moments, all while being wired up like a Christmas tree. The audacity. When those police files started leaking, connecting Durk to all these suspects, everything went downhill faster than my last diet. Get this, out of the 5 guys involved, 3 of them were tighter with King Von than skinny jeans. Always in photos, buying bling, living their best life, the whole 9 yards. The closer they were to Von, the messier this whole situation got.
Yeah, point blank, people pick and choose, cause shit, no matter where you at, like no matter any part of the world, somebody gonna do a goddamn, like anywhere in the United States, anywhere, any country, on the earth, a nigga would've wanted their partner to be there for him.
Now, let's talk about King Von for a hot minute. This whole beef traces back to that tragic night when we lost V. Ever since then, it's been like watching a ticking time bomb. Durk's been moving in silence, plotting against Quando Rondo, who's tight with NBA YoungBoy's crew. You know, the same ones people think had something to do with Von's passing. The drama.
Fighting on 2 Charlie. Kenny Rando, would you like to make a statement about the fight?
No.
Did you receive any injuries?
No.
Did you receive medical attention?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to say about the fight?
No.
Get this. Quando actually tried to be the bigger person at first, reaching out to Durk like, can we talk about this? But Durk wasn't having any of it. Instead, he chose violence, and I'm not talking physical. He started hitting Quando where it really hurts, his bank account, started buying up venues where Quando was supposed to perform, basically saying, not in my house.
Did you receive any injuries?
No.
Did you receive medical attention?
Yeah. I know they're just to receive ambulance.
But you saw the nurse?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? This concludes the interview. Sergeant Cook is turning the camera off.
Eventually, Quando was like, enough is enough, and clapped back with his track Soul Reaper, throwing more shade than a solar eclipse. While Durk played it cool in public behind the scenes, baby, he was busy. The streets were buzzing with rumors that he was handing out financial rewards to anyone loyal to Von, and you might want to sit down for this. Word is, he even put a bounty on Quando's head. Then things exploded when JW's friend, El Pab, got taken out at a gas station. Durk started dropping these super sus lyrics that had everyone like, did he just admit to that? Meanwhile, Quando wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back and even dragged V's sister into it, like the disrespect. Fast forward a bit, and Quando's rolling through LA with his squad, including LPAB. They did everything by the book, checking in with local players, you know, standard procedure when you're in unfamiliar territory. But honey, OTF had them on GPS or something because they knew everything. Their hotel, their plans, what they had for breakfast. Okay, maybe not that last part, but you get the point. Whether somebody snitched or they just got lucky, OTF wasn't playing games. They booked flights, got their rental cars, and started following Quando's crew like they were shooting a reality show. Picture this. Quando's in this black Escalade, totally unbothered, while a white BMW's playing Follow the Leader. They pull up to this gas station, and that's when everything went sideways. Shots fired, Quando makes it out, but El Pab wasn't so fortunate. After all that chaos, OTF's crew hits up some local spot to split their cash like they're dividing up lottery winnings, then ghost out of LA faster than my ex disappearing on date night. Durk? Oh, he made sure to stay far away from anything that could connect him to this mess. Smart, right? But here comes the biggest plot twist since the last plot twist. OTF Jam gets picked up on some gun charge, and facing another long sentence, this man decides he's not going down alone. Started singing like he's on The Voice, giving up all the tea. He's connecting dots the police didn't even know existed. Flights, cars, every single detail. And get this, he's supposedly been wearing a wire for years. The Betrayal.
He goes on there and starts running his mouth. Yeah, the feds came in, they took my cell phone, still haven't given it back, right? If you go in there and look at that report, number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's locations.
Oh.
Slow down.
Now Durk, he might have seen something coming because word is he told his crew to keep his name and his family's name out of everything. Like, don't even whisper it. But with OTF Jam spilling more tea than a British afternoon party, the feds are putting this puzzle together piece by piece. Even though Durk tried to keep his paperwork cleaner than my grandma's kitchen, things are looking rough. The pressure's building like a pot about to boil over, y'all. This whole Lil Durk situation has the internet more divided than a pizza at a kid's party. On one side, you've got fans swearing up and down that Durk's just an innocent man caught up in some messy drama that spiraled faster than a TikTok challenge. But then you've got the other side, convinced he's been pulling strings like a master puppeteer, orchestrating everything from behind the scenes. Listen, in Chicago, where alliances are about as stable as my New Year's resolutions, it's practically impossible to make it without getting your hands a little dirty. Durk's been in these streets longer than most, always keeping it real about the struggle to make it out. But here's the gag. The streets don't just let you write a resignation letter and bounce. Now this tea about OTF Jam? Chile, that hit different. We're talking about someone who was supposed to be family turning into the biggest plot twist since, well, ever. It's like finding out your best friend's been reading your diary and posting it online. That kind of betrayal. The streets are still processing how someone so deep in the crew could flip like a gymnast.
Number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's locations. Now, after the murder when Quando went back to Georgia, what did he immediately do?
Dropped his flag?
There it goes. What was he claiming?
Roll 60 script.
Where Brick Baby from?
Roll 60 script.
What you think the police told Quando?
That the roll 60s set him up?
Who you think he checked in with?
Roll 60s?
With who?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
That's
I'm not going to say
listen.
it. Yeah.
Listen.
I'm not going to say it.
No, listen.
Jam's decision to work with the feds, that changed everything. Suddenly, every time he had the crew's back looks faker than those designer bags at the flea market. For someone like Durk, who preaches loyalty like it's gospel, this cut deeper than a paper cut between your fingers. The feds, armed with all Jam's tea, started connecting dots like they were playing the world's most complicated game of Connect 4. This isn't just about what went down at that LA gas station. We're talking years of history, multiple states, multiple crimes. Honey, it's layers, like an onion, but make it criminal. And let's talk about this Quando Rondo situation because, whew, this man was just trying to make his mark in the game but ended up stepping on the wrong toes, and not just any toes, but the whole foot of one of Chicago's most connected rappers. When Quando tried to reach out and squash the beef, Durk probably saw it like somebody offering a band-aid for a bullet wound. Too little, too late. The streets don't play nice, and showing any kind of weakness is like putting blood in shark-infested waters. Quando found himself stuck between NBA Youngboy's crew and OTF, led by a man who apparently doesn't know the meaning of forgive and forget. When Durk started buying out venues just to stop Quando from performing, baby, that was a power move that screamed, "I've got more money than I've got patience." When Soul Reaper dropped, it was like throwing gasoline on an already blazing fire. Quando was basically saying, "I'm done playing nice." While Durk kept quiet in public, giving that unbothered energy behind the scenes. Chiley, the streets were whispering about financial incentives and bounties like it was a wild episode of Crime Stoppers. Let me tell you about that night in LA. It was giving movie scene energy. Quando's crew thought they were just making another business trip, following all the safety protocols like they were reading from a manual. But honey, OTF had that information locked down tighter than my jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. The planning, military precision. They knew Quando's schedule better than my mom knows my business. The aftermath was chaos. Quando's reaction, caught on video, showed a side of him that broke everyone's heart. Meanwhile, OTF's crew was dividing up money and disappearing like magic. The whole thing was executed with the kind of efficiency that makes you wonder if they'd done this before. But this time was different because it all went public. For Durk, staying clean was priority number one. No calls, no paper trail, nothing. But here's the thing about being a boss. Even if your hands are clean, you're still responsible for the mess your crew makes. When Jam got picked up and started singing to the feds, baby, it was like watching a house of cards collapse in slow motion. Now the feds are building a case with more layers than a wedding cake. Flights, rental cars, credit card receipts, everything. Jam's testimony is just the appetizer. They're hungry for the whole meal. For Durk, this is like his worst nightmare coming true in 4K HD. He's always prided himself on being the smartest in the room, but now every move he's ever made is under a microscope. Think about what this means for Chicago's rap scene. OTF isn't just a crew, they're a symbol of making it out the trenches. But now, the image is cracking faster than my phone screen when I dropped it. Fans are questioning everything, and critics are coming for necks. How you gonna rap about loyalty when your own crew's falling apart like wet paper? For Quando, this whole situation is like being stuck in a bad dream you can't wake up from. He lost people close to him, been targeted multiple times, and now he's probably wondering what's next. He tried to do the right thing, tried to make peace, but sometimes in these streets, peace isn't an option on the menu. Lil Durk's at a crossroads now. Either he finds a way to beat these charges and prove he's innocent, or he might lose everything he's built. The feds are building their case like they're constructing a skyscraper, brick by brick, detail by detail. For Durk, it's a race against time. He's got to figure out who's still loyal and who's just waiting to switch sides like a weather vane in a storm. This isn't just about music anymore, folks. It's about survival. And in these streets, only the smartest, the most cunning, make it out intact. The streets don't forget, and they sure don't forgive easy. As more tea spills and the feds close in, one thing's crystal clear. This drama's far from over. Look, if you're expecting a happy ending, honey, you might want to switch channels. OTF came up out of necessity. When poverty, gangs, and violence leave you with about as many choices as a multiple choice test with one answer. They weren't chasing clout or trying to become the next big thing. They were just trying to stay alive and maybe stack some paper while doing it. That's all we've got for today. Make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell to stay updated on all the latest tea. Let us know in the comments what you think. Will Durk's crew stay loyal, or is this the beginning of the end? We'll catch you in the next video.